Over the last week, everyone has been talking about the Apple iPhone 11, Apple iPhone 11 Pro, and Apple iPhone 11 Pro Max. But what I'd like to do in this video is talk about the Huawei P30. This is the Android phone I've been using for a little over 2 months now. It's not a new phone. In fact, it was out for a month or two before I bought it, but I've been using it a lot. I'm a heavy user. I use my smartphone every single day for videos, for browsing, for emails, for work. And I think I'm in a good position now to talk about this phone. Now, spoiler alert, I think that this is a fantastic little phone. It's a flagship phone and it's been perhaps overshadowed by its older sibling, the Huawei P30 Pro, but I think that this is one that a lot of people should perhaps consider. Certainly, if there's a good deal around you, I was very, very lucky with the price with this. I paid $286 in the UK and got a free speaker worth £30 and a free Huawei GT watch, which sells for over $150. So I was incredibly lucky. I got a fantastic deal. I could have bought the Huawei P30 Pro. It was £200 more, but I looked at this and this ticked all the boxes. And I think for a lot of people, it would do the same. This is a smaller phone than the Huawei P30 Pro. It's smaller than a lot of flagship phones, but it's got everything that you need. It's got a headphone jack, it's got a micro SD card slot, it's got the same 32 megapixel sensor at the front as the Huawei P30 Pro. It's got a triple camera at the back. The Huawei P30 obviously has a quad camera, but if you look at the camera samples between both of these phones, in a lot of situations they look identical. In some situations they actually look better, but the Huawei P30 Pro obviously is a better phone from a power point of view. It's got more RAM. It's got the same processor, but the quad camera at the back does help in a lot of situations. That the P30 Pro's got 50 times zoom. This has got 30 times digital zoom. But in most situations, on paper, it might make the P30 Pro look better. But in most situations, I don't think there is a lot of difference in the real world. But what I'd like to do in this video, of course, is talk about all this. So to give you a better understanding as to what this phone is all about, let's jump over to my browser and we can see what this is all about. Now, this is the Huawei P30 Pro, and this is the one that got all the accolades. This has got so many good reviews. A lot of people were saying it was the best phone of the year and the best smartphone camera of the year. These things change over time, of course, because there's always new phones coming out. Now you can see this one has got 40 megapixel, 20 megapixel and 8 megapixel. It's also got I'll tell you exactly how they phrase it. The other camera is a time of flight camera. So this is a quad camera, very, very powerful. This got a slightly larger battery, but of course it is charging a larger screen. It's got Huawei Supercharge as well. It can charge slightly faster than the one that I've got, but the Supercharge on the Huawei P30 is amazing. Now, I don't want to dwell on the specifications and the features of the Huawei P30 Pro. I will leave a link down below. You can check it out and you can do your own comparisons. What I want to show you is the Huawei P30. This is the phone that I've got, and I think it's a great looking phone. I really do. If I scroll down here, you can see the main features here. Breathing Crystal, that's the colour that I've got. You can also get it in Aurora. In fact, is that the one I've got? I'll need to check. I've been using it in this yellow phone for so long, I've actually forgot. So yeah, it is the Aurora that I've got. Shows you how much I know. I've actually not taken it out of that case for a long time. And you can get it in black. I think there's maybe another colour out there as well you can get in different regions. So in this one, it's got a 40 megapixel, 16 megapixel and 8 megapixel camera. 8 megapixel is the telephoto lens. It's got 30 times zoom. The digital zoom, 30 times refers to the zoom in photos. 10 times is the zoom for videos. And yeah, you can see a lot of the features here. Obviously, like every smartphone company, they're really focusing on the camera here. That's the main selling point of these phones. And the cameras are fantastic in my opinion. Now, there's some other specs here. 6 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, uses a 7nm processor. And again, this Kirin 980 is exactly the same in the P30 Pro. It's exactly the same CPU, so performance will be identical. Day-to-day use will be 100% identical. Supercharge is another feature. It is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Now, I will talk about that when I get the overhead camera. I'll talk about that a little bit more, but yeah, it's fantastic. I'll just quickly jump over to the specifications. Again, just to give you a quick overview as to what this is all about. You can see the dimensions there. The 3 colors, 6.1 inch screen. It's got an OLED display, 2340 by 1080 pixels. IP53, and the P30 Pro it's a little bit higher. I think it's it's 68. I was going to say 67. Yeah, there's the processor there. I don't want to bore you too much with specs here, but yeah, you've got the camera there. 40 wide angle, 16 ultra wide, and 8 megapixels for telephoto. It's also got a 32 megapixel camera, f2.0 on the front. 3650 milliamp battery. That is slightly smaller than the P30 Pro, but of course you've got that smaller screen. It supports Huawei Supercharge. It's got a headphone jack. It's got a micro SD card slot as well. Obviously, it's USB Type C. NFC is there as well. So across the board, I feel that this is a fantastic little phone. I really do. I'll leave a link to these pages. You can check them out, and you can, spend a lot of time looking at the specs and all that. What I would say, and you can kind of bog yourself down with specifications sometimes, but what I would say, certainly with regards to the camera, is that the front camera and the back cameras, they're fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic. If you want the best camera out there, you'd probably be leaning towards the P30 Pro, or perhaps another flagship Android phone this year, such as the Samsung S10 or the upcoming Google Pixel 4. But between these two phones, the P30 and P30 Pro, there really isn't a ton of difference between them. I don't take a lot of photos, if I'm honest. Most of the photos I take are silly. They're like silly photos I send to my friends on WhatsApp, or just quick selfie photos with friends when I'm out. But the photos have been amazing. The photos that I have taken, they're clear, they're crisp. During the daytime, the photos are fantastic. And low light, the pictures are fantastic as well. I'm not someone who takes a lot of photos at night. And low light performance, taking pictures, taking videos at nighttime, this is something that all cameras struggle with, not just smartphone cameras, but all cameras. But this is without doubt the best smartphone camera that I've used at nighttime. Low light performance is very, very impressive. Video wise, yeah, it's fantastic. I don't want to bore you too much with the video side of things. If you want to learn more about how this performs from a video recording point of view, I have already published 2 videos about this. I've recorded a video that shows a series of clips using the front camera, showing 1080p, what the microphone quality is like, what the daytime recording quality is like, what the nighttime quality is like. And that gives you a better overview as to what the selfie camera can do. I've also did the same with the back cameras, 4K, and I've showed what that's like in low light and all that. But low light performance is quite good at nighttime. I really do think it's quite good. It's one of the best probably of the year. And the reason I'm saying it quite good and not amazing is because no camera is amazing in low light. But when compared to other cameras, it is good. The microphone quality is really good as well. And I've did some video recordings just like that using the built-in mic. I've did some streams like that as well. And it's not going to replace a lavalier mic or a shotgun mic, but on the go microphone quality, yeah, it's fantastic. But I don't want to dwell on that too much, because I have published 2 videos about that. So please do check that out. What I would say though about the cameras is that the 30 times zoom does come in really, really handy. You can zoom in and then you can take a photo. At the higher end though, it kind of becomes unusable. Certainly from a video perspective, you can zoom in 10 times and it really, really does zoom in. But the quality is kind of unusable. Above 4 times digital zoom, it's too grainy. It just looks bad. So, it's amazing and it's fantastic on the spec sheet that you can do 10 times digital zoom. Beyond 3 or 4 times digital zoom for your shot, yeah, the quality isn't there. But you might want to use it in certain situations. It's more applicable to the camera, I would say. In the video, it does become, unusable towards the higher end. But what it does have as well, in addition to the 30 times digital zoom and the 10 times digital zoom for video, it's got this widescreen mode. So as you saw, one of the sensors is an ultra wide sensor, and you've got it at 1. So you imagine you zoom in 10 times, it goes from 1 to 10. But you can also go back the way and zoom out to 0.6. And that is fantastic. I've used that a lot for photos and videos where you've got your normal shot and then you zoom out and you get it widescreen. Kind of what you would get with a GoPro, but without the fisheye effect. So yeah, in that regard, it's fantastic. But do check out my video samples. And when I'm at it, if you want to know what's in the box, please do check out my unboxing. You'll see that it gets a charger, you get the USB Type-C cable, you get headphones, etc. But if you do want to know exactly what you get with this phone, check out my unboxing. What I would say though, day-to-day use, this is a fantastic little phone. The battery life is amazing, but I kind of talked about this earlier. The supercharge. This comes with a 5-volt charger, and this has got supercharge. Now, I actually did a test with this yesterday, in fact, because I've got this cable now. Unfortunately, their technology it doesn't work the same as quick charge, with other Android phones. It's their own, design. So you will get fast charging if you're using your older cables, but not as fast. With this cable, and I've bought 2 additional cables the other day, very cheap actually, they were like £5 for 2. And I used this cable with this charger, and I was getting like 4,200 milliamps. The speed is insane. And that really does change how you use this, because, you can be like at 20% and then you put in the supercharger, you go and get a shower, you get your breakfast, and you come out and you're like 80, 90%. It is insanely quick at charging. Now, the website says you can go from I think it was like 0 to 70, and I can't remember if it was like 20 or 30 minutes. I can't remember what they quote. But real-time usage, this is amazing. I don't charge overnight now because I know in the morning I can just leave my phone charged in, keep it charged, and it will be fast. It'll be super, it'll be charged in no time. It is amazing. And once you get used to that functionality, you really don't want to go backwards and buy a phone that doesn't support that fast charging. It is one of the best-selling features of the phone. Battery life, great as well. Microphone, good. Cameras are good. But what I like to do is show you exactly what this is like. So I'll do this in real time. I will turn on my overhead camera, and I'll give you a closer look at the phone, because sometimes you can sit and talk about phones all day, but I think it's good to sit get zoomed in and look at what this is actually like. So if I change to this, you can see my desk, and I'll zoom down, and this is the phone if my camera stops shaking. But yeah, this is the Huawei P30. Now, I've got it in an official Huawei P30 case. I'll take this off and show you the Aurora. And look at that design, guys. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is a fantastic design. It's maybe a little bit of a shame that I'm hiding it in this yellow case, but I quite like this case, as far as protecting this, because it's got one of those designs. These things always scrape quite easily. So yeah, I've got it in the case, and I think it looks quite good as well in the yellow. Now, if you look closely, you can maybe see that the screen is cracked, and that is because the screen protector that I put on has cracked. So I need to put on another one. But what I can do right now is take this one off. So let's see if I can get this off. How easy is it? It's actually very, very easy. So that's what I damaged. And I don't even know how I did damage that. Some tempered glass protectors just crack really easily. But what I would say is that the screen is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. OLED display is fantastic. And yeah, you can see me even just moving around here as well. Performance is really, really good. So this is my website, a little plug for myself. But if I click onto any page here, it loads quickly. It's a very fast phone. I would say though, when compared to my Pocophone last year, I don't think it's night and day. I think it's on par with the phone I had last year. In fact, in some situations, I would say the phone that I had last, the Pocophone was, that had a Snapdragon 845, I think it was. And there's some situations where my last phone might have been a little bit quicker. It's not night, it's not like it's a drastically slower, but yeah, I did notice that myself going from the older Android phone to this one, from the Poco phone to this one. I'll get copyright-free music here. Rock background music, no copyright. Alright, I'll try this one. This is the one I always use. So yeah, as far as speakers go, as far as audio quality goes, I've already talked about the microphones being really, really good, but audio quality is good as well. Now, of course, this is no, it's not that you can throw away your Bluetooth speakers. At the end of the day, it's a smartphone. You've got that speaker down there. I think that, yeah, that's the only location there. So you still get that kind of tinny sound to it as far as, it's all come out one speaker. But overall, the audio quality is good. Certainly, if I'm going into the bathroom and I'm going to get a shower, I'll stick some music on. I don't need to use a Bluetooth speaker. The audio quality is good. It's good for podcasts. It's good for videos. It's good for music as well. And I do that a lot. Actually, I frequently put on a video and then just, when I'm in a shower, I'll have it on in the background. So yeah, audio quality is good. Video quality is good. And it's kind of hard to show you that, as far as, screen quality and all that. But yeah, performance is good. It is good. And I think it's basically on par with the phone I had last year. I do think it's on par, but it's not like it's infinitely faster, but which is no surprise. It's got the same amount of RAM. It's got 6 gigabytes of RAM. But yeah, overall, I think that it's a very, very fast phone. Now, one thing that kind of put me off of getting any phone like this is the fingerprint sensor. Now, this isn't a criticism of this phone per se. It's more about fingerprint sensors being put there. Now, you can see that's unlocking it. Now, you can see it's quite responsive, right? It was actually much less responsive with this tempered glass on. It was significantly less responsive. There are a lot of times where it just wasn't as responsive because of that tempered glass screen protector. But what I would say is that I prefer the fingerprint sensor to be there. It is so much better there. It really is. It's just quicker there. It's more practical in most situations. But it's not like this is bad. It's just I personally prefer the fingerprint sensor to be at the back. But you can see here, it does work. It didn't work there. It's not working there either. There it's there. I do prefer the fingerprint sensor on the back though. But the other thing is you can unlock it just by looking at it as well, recognizing face. So even with my headphones on, if I close it and I'll go recognizing face, it just pops back up. So the facial recognition thing, that's a fantastic feature. It's something I've activated. I know a lot of people wouldn't do that. They've got fears of Huawei and other Chinese companies getting your data and all that, but I couldn't care less if I'm honest. Worth pointing out as well, you might have noticed this, that this actually came, and this is something I didn't know until I put on this screen protector, is that this actually has a pre-applied screen protector. So I've been using 2 screen protectors for the last month or so. I didn't actually know until the other one was put on. So I don't think I need to put on another one. But yeah, this came with a pre-applied screen protector, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, fingerprint sensor. As far as fingerprint sensors go for on-screen displays, is quite good. But I found myself using the facial recognition for quite a lot of the time. The facial recognition works amazing in low light, at daytime, at low light, at nighttime. Occasionally it works okay, other times it just doesn't recognize you, and that's why you have to use your finger. But yeah, I do prefer the fingerprint sensor there. I'm just used to it there. It's quicker, it's more responsive. Now, as far as the camera goes, this is, of course, one of the biggest selling points of this phone. It's what a lot of people focus on. As far as the camera app goes, you can obviously use different camera apps if you want. You've got aperture, you've got night. This is a new feature. I don't think that was actually available when I first got the phone. I think they added it later. You've got portrait mode. Obviously, that will do kind of like bokeh effect and things like that. No faces detected, or maybe not. You've got photo, which is the auto mode. You've got video. You've got the pro mode. So there's a lot of different options there. But if you press more, look at all that. You've got slow-mo, panorama, monochrome, AR lens, light painting, HDR, time-lapse, moving picture, filter, stickers, documents, super macro, that's the one I was talking about, dual view, download. Now, super macro, of course, if you're doing something like that, you know, your hand or something, you should be able to get it in focus like that, and I'll do the kind of bokeh effect. It's maybe not, it's not probably the best thing here to show you. I'm trying to say maybe something like that. So there's the charger. Oh, it's went to the other mode. It's defaulted back to the other mode, but look, if I do like that, I probably picked the worst thing ever to show you in a sample. But that is the idea. That is the idea, guys. But in here, as far as the modes that I've used here, the dual view is a video mode, which I showed you this in my video sample, but effectively what you can do is you can put one of them up to 10 times zoom. So again, so let's bring back my case. You can bring one of them there. You can zoom 2 to 10. And the original one is recorded at just normal at 1 times. And the other one you can zoom in and out. As far as the practicality of that, what you're going to be using that for, I don't know. But it's a fun little mode. It is there if you want it. The documents thing is something that I've used a lot as well. I mean, you can download document scanning apps. You know, if you need to scan a letter or something and send it to someone. There's a ton of apps out there, but it is part of the camera app. And yeah, you'll see there's a lot of different options here. Records at 4K at 30 frames per second. 1080p, I believe you can do at 60. Am I using the... Oh, yeah, I'm using the back camera. So, let me see. Where am I here? Oh, it's because I'm not in video mode. That's why. So, you get 4K. You can do 4K 69, full screen 1080p, 69, 21.9. And you can see other things down here. 4K only supports 30 frames per second. But if I do 1080p, I can select 60 frames per second. Like that. So 60 frames per second is quite good. If you drop down to 720p, you can change it. There is a slow motion. Oh, in fact, yeah, I was going to say you can change the frame rate there, but that's actually in the slow-mo mode where you do that. But you can also record in H.264 or 265. 264 is the one that's acceptable in most formats. You know, if you're sending video to friends and things like that. 265 will save a lot of video space, but a lot of file space, sorry, but it's not as accepted by apps and things. Not yet, anyway. But the 4K camera on the back. Now, if you look at my 4K sample video, there's a little bit of shaking when you're recording at 4K. But see when you put this phone on a tripod and you've just got it sitting there. Can you see me there? When you've got this on a tripod and it's not moving around, the video quality is absolutely excellent. I was so impressed by what the quality of this camera was like when I was recording 4K on the tripod. It was amazing. Really, really good. You know, if you're an aspiring YouTuber, you could put this on a tripod and record just using the back camera. It's really, really good. The front camera is good as well, but the back camera is really where it's at. Overall, the camera app is good. It's got, you know, a lot of different settings there. You can see all the different things there. Audio control, capture smiles, add watermark and all that. There's a lot of different things there, but of course you can change the app. But overall, video, cameras, photo quality, everything is really, really good. Now, I'll just show you the settings area here. You can see I've got everyone is blocked so that no one phones me during a recording. And I can assure you, as soon as you start recording a video for YouTube, someone does want to phone you. So this is the settings area, and yeah, you can see lots of different options here. It's kind of par for the course. It's a nice skin. It is a nice skin. I'm not a fan of Android being bloated, but I don't think it is in this case. I don't think it is at all. Again, battery life is fantastic. So yeah, moving around, you can see yourself here. It's a quick phone. It's a quick phone for, you know, for navigation, for using, and I've now made it so dark that you can't see anything. There we go. Back up to super brightness, which is probably too bright for the camera. But yeah, it's really good. And you can see some of the other options at the top here as well. You've got a torch, screenshot and all that. Yeah, so overall, it's a nice phone to use. It really is a nice phone to use. And as I was saying, it's got the 6.1 inch screen, but it's not like this is a small phone. You know, back in the day, this would have been a massive phone, but the bezels are tiny. The bezels are tiny, and you've got this kind of pin drop front camera, the 32 megapixel camera at the top there. A little bit of a bump with the camera there, but overall, I think it's a lovely package. You know, a lot of nice touches. The fact you get headphones in the box, you get, you know, the fast charger, you get a headphone jack, speakers are quite good, you get a good front camera, you get a good back camera, pre-applied screen protector. Which company is doing that? That was a very nice bonus. I still stuck that on just because I'd bought it. But yeah, overall, it's a fantastic phone. It really is a fantastic phone. Very easy to use. It's a nice skin. You can put, I've got a, I should have pointed this out earlier, guys, but I'm using a launcher right now. I've got the Microsoft launcher. So if you're using the official launcher, it'll be a little bit different, but I'll change that for you just now. So I've changed the launcher now. This is what it actually looks like. What I was showing you before when I was browsing around was actually the Microsoft launcher, which I use. I've just kind of become accustomed to it, but this is what you get if you use Huawei's one. But again, you know, I've got Nova launcher here, I've got the Microsoft launcher, I think I've got another launcher around the place as well, and this is what it looks like. Quite nice, icons look good and all that, but I've just become accustomed to using the Microsoft one. But overall, yeah, it's a fantastic little looking phone, especially when you take it out of the case, if I can get it. Looks great. So, back to the main camera and a quick overview of this phone. Well, you know, if you've been watching this video, you should know by now that I do like this phone. I think it's a great phone. I was lucky enough to get this at a very good price, but the phone market is extremely competitive. There's a lot of options out there. I'm not telling other people out there you should definitely buy this phone. I got it at a good price. I think the cameras are fantastic. I think the mic quality is really, really good. I just like the overall form factor. I have enjoyed having a phone that's a little bit smaller. I do still like the fact that this has got a headphone jack, and overall I think the package is quite good, and it's got a few other really nice features. You know, headphone jack, micro SD card, it's got that fast charging cable, which is amazing. Once you get that, you really don't want to go back to charging your phone, charging in a slow way. It is a pain. In fact, I've noticed that myself when I've been charging with this, and then I went back to a cable that I used in my car, and it was so slow in comparison. So yeah, the quick charging functionality is great. The camera is great. The mic quality is great. I'm not going to lie though, you know, there are better phones out there right now if you are willing to spend more money. The Huawei P30 Pro technically is better. On paper, the Samsung S10 is better, but specs don't always tell you the full story, guys. It really doesn't. I had the Samsung S10, as you guys know. I did a few videos with it and I sent it back. But as an overall phone, I didn't like the Samsung S10. It was kind of bloated with apps. Not as bad as Samsung used to be, but it was kind of a little bit bloated. I just didn't like what everything was in the Samsung. You know, even one of the things that annoyed me with the Samsung was that they had the power button at a really high position. This doesn't. This has it in a really good position. It doesn't sound like that's a big thing, but it is. It is a big thing. It's annoying when you're reaching up all the time to push the power button in an awkward position. This has got in a really good position. You just hold it like that. You can power it on and off like that. Easy. The facial recognition, can you see it there? Just comes on. That's it on. That works really well. Not so much at night time, obviously, if you're in bed and it's dark, but that does work well. The fingerprint sensor, as you saw, does work well as well, but I do prefer it on the back. But yeah, if you've never seen the Huawei P30, hopefully you've got a better understanding of what this is, what it can do. If this comes up on a good deal, it is one to consider. And certainly if you're looking at the Huawei P30 Pro, maybe you've disregarded the Huawei P30 because you're used to buying the biggest and the best. And the Huawei P30 does have a better camera, but I put it to you guys to go out there and look at some of the photo and video comparisons between the Huawei P30 and Huawei P30 Pro. There are situations, certainly when zooming, when P30 Pro is better. But in most situations, there's really not a huge amount between them. And I kind of feel that way for smartphones in general. If you compare this to other smartphones in 2019, there'll be certain situations where this performs better than a Samsung S10. There'll be, it might be better than an iPhone 11 in certain situations. There'll be other situations when the iPhone 11 trounces this. But if you look at a lot of these, smartphone review websites, yes, there are differences, but these people are paid to nitpick. They're paid to really examine the differences between phones. Maybe because I'm not a power user when it comes to using the camera. I do use the camera. I do use it for video. I do, take the occasional photo. But when you're looking at photos and, you're actually having to zoom in 50 times into a photo and look at the grain to see whether one is better than the other, then, you're really kind of diving into the world of nitpicking. I think for most people, most general users, this smartphone will be as good as a Samsung S10 or perhaps the Google Pixel 4. And it's one of those things, guys. Technology moves forward. Technology moves forward all the time. But it is the law of diminishing returns. In the same generation, all the phones in the same generation of this, there might be some that are slightly better, but it's not night and day. And you sometimes have to pay 300 or 400 more to get a camera that is 5%, 10% better. And this, for me, is why I think this is a good all-round phone. It's a better price. The smaller form factor is better, and it still has that headphone jack, the fingerprint sensor and all that as well, and the fast charging. It's got a lot to love about it. So thanks for watching, guys. This has been, I know it's been a little bit of an informal chat. I've recorded this all in one take. It's not like I'm doing fast clips, but what I wanted to do in this video is really talk about this phone for the benefit of people who are considering it, or perhaps for those who are looking at a phone and maybe didn't consider this, because it has been overshadowed by the Huawei P30 Pro, and at the time I could have spent another 200 and bought the one with the longer zoom and with the quad camera instead of a triple camera. But after using this for 2 months, I have no doubt that I made the right decision for me. This is a fantastic phone, and I've really been happy with it. Of course, 5-6 months down the line, or a few months down the line, I might change it. I do change my tech a lot. It's a great phone though, guys. I really do love it. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It has been an informal chat about the Huawei P30, how I have found it after 2 months of use, and overall it's a great phone. Nothing more I can really say about that. If you want to learn more about it, do check out my previous videos. I'll leave a link to all the previous videos that I've did about the Huawei P30. Check out the official websites as well. I'll leave some other useful links down below if you want to learn more about this phone. And if you are thinking about buying this, don't just watch this video. Go out and watch 5 or 6 video reviews. Get some, alternative opinions from some other people. They might point out some things that perhaps didn't matter to me, or perhaps I didn't notice. But do your research, guys, before you put down any money, because smartphones are expensive and you want to, make an informed decision, especially when you're going to be spending 500 or 600, etc. If you're spending a lot of money on a phone, do your research. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you get any questions about this phone, please do leave a comment below. But until next time, take care.